All right, hello people and welcome. Welcome to Be the Zombie. This is Dying Light with the expansion pack, the following. Oh, 1 second. Get this all set up. Good. Okay, so be the zombie. What does that mean? Well, before I get into Be the Zombie, I should talk a little bit about Dying Light, first of all. And this episode, by the way, this first episode will probably be somewhat short. I'm just going to explain a little bit about what this series is going to be about and what the game is about and basically what I'm going to be doing. So Dying Light, what is Dying Light? Dying Light, in my humble opinion, is a parkour game with zombies thrown in it. Now, some people will disagree with that. Some people will say, no, Dying Light is a zombie game with parkour, and I disagree. I've played zombie games before, and pretty much they're all kinds of games where there are hordes and hordes of zombies, and you have a whole bunch of machine guns, and you just shoot, and kill all the zombies. Okay, some people might like that. I got bored real easy. I think I played Zombie Army Trilogy. I played that a little bit. And a couple other games. And I mean, it's okay for a little while, but not really my cup of tea. Let's see if I can get to a safe zone. This game is a parkour game first, and it's got zombies thrown in it, in my opinion. The game does have tons of zombies in it, but basically you don't want to fight them. You'd rather avoid them if you can. You want to accomplish your objectives without necessarily having to fight any zombies. Now, there are sometimes when you have to fight the zombies, no doubt about it. And there are times when you may want to, just have fun. But really, generally you want to avoid them, and you do that by going from rooftop to rooftop. Whoops. Let's see. Trying to just show you something. So, you're traveling on the rooftops to avoid most of the zombies, usually. Especially like me, I play the game on the hardest difficulty setting. I usually play most of my games like that on the hardest difficulty setting, but just because I feel like I get more out of the games. When you play it on the hardest difficulty setting, it's not impossible, like some games are or seem to be, but it is difficult. And one of the things about playing on this difficulty level is those zombies, even though they are the basic ones, the least ones, they're pretty tough to kill. Just one of them with a few whacks of your melee weapon, it'd probably take about 10 hits just to kill one zombie, especially in the beginning of the game. So you don't really want to fight them, you want to avoid them, and you do that with your parkour skills. Okay, you do that with, now this grappling hook that I have here, it's kind of a high level thing that you get. You might, you won't have one at the start of the game, but this is basically what you're doing, you're trying to avoid them. So it is a parkour game with zombies in it, in my opinion, so to speak. So, what is the zombie hunter? Alright, well, in this game, you have the option of turning on... Let's see if I can get it here. Matter of fact, it's actually easier, I think, to show you in the quests. Okay, invasion, be the zombie. What happens is when you activate this, when you turn it on, I guess you can just do it here, or I don't think I've ever done it from here. Usually when I've done the zombie invasion, usually, oops, what I do is I go to the main menu and I go into options, online, and you do the zombie invasion. I think by default it's on never, it's on off. But if you turn it on, a special event occurs in the game. You can set it to happen whenever, okay, and it's somewhat random, I guess. I think we usually set it at night, and you can set the frequency. How often do you want it to happen? Maybe just once a week, who knows? The zombie invasion is basically a part of the game where you go into a special area, and there are what they call zombie nests. And you and maybe you and your friends go and try and destroy these nests. But there is a super zombie in the area guarding those nests. And the super zombie is actually a player. Okay, someone who wants to be the zombie. And so we did this a few times, me and my friends, but we got wasted. We got toasted because we didn't really know what we were doing, and we didn't understand just how powerful that super zombie is and what you need to do to win the game, basically, or the zombie invasion. So we did that a few times, and we just kept on losing the zombie invasion. We never destroyed the nest, and we were like, okay. Now I knew that players could be the zombie, but I thought that the zombies, the super zombies anyways, or I think they call him a night hunter, or a zombie hunter. I thought that, night hunter invasion. I thought that the night hunters were basically just a super zombie and that's it. And someone, who wants to be the zombie can go in there and have fun and try to, take out the players like us. And I also thought maybe like if there was no one who wanted to do it, who wanted to be the zombie, I just thought maybe the computer or the AI would throw one in there. I really didn't know, but I thought you just basically were a super zombie. Not true. You're not just a zombie, okay? There are things to it that being the zombie that I thought were really cool. My son actually, he started to play Dying Light recently, and I asked him how did he like it. He said, "Well, I really like to be the zombie the most." And I was like, "Really? You just started playing it and you're already being the zombie?" And he's like, "Yeah, I like being the zombie." I said, "Well, what do you like about it? What's the deal?" "Well, I just like all the abilities and going up in levels and stuff like that." And I was like, "I didn't going up in levels. What are you talking about? You go up in levels?" He's like, "Yeah, you can go up." I didn't know any of that. I never really looked into it. So I watched him do it, and it looked like a lot of fun. I was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." So I tried it, and it really was. It was a lot of fun, and it was not what I expected at all. You start off at first level as a zombie. And you get to it right from here, by the way. You go to be the zombie, and you create a zombie. This is the zombie. This is you. You start off at first level. I was like, wow, you go up in levels as a zombie? And that's what happened. You go up in level as zombies. Okay. And you get all these different abilities as you go up in levels. And, of course, you are playing against other players. Okay. But, this time you are the zombie. They are trying to destroy your nests, and you are trying to protect your nests. So I played it for a couple of hours, and I thought it was really fun, and there's a lot to it. So what I did is I just decided to create a new first level character. Matter of fact, I think I'm just gonna delete this one also. Let's go to the advanced options, and let's delete this one. And I'll just create a new one. So I'm just gonna start from the beginning and go through the tutorial and just show the basics of the game here. So let's start it up and I just start it up and we'll... you start off in a tutorial. So, and that's really good, by the way. I'm really glad they have a tutorial. A lot of games don't have tutorials. They just throw you right in the action. And I don't know. I don't like that. I'd like at least some kind of tutorial just to get me introduced to the game, to the character. The zombie that you're playing is fast. It is really fast. Okay, let's see if we can go to it. So you are a super zombie. This is walking speed. This is running speed. And you're basically, the tutorial just going to introduce you to some of the basics of the zombie you're playing. And you are just, from here, at this point, we're just going from orange marker to orange marker. I'm still actually getting a little used to the controls myself. The controls are a little awkward. That's just an unfortunate part of this game. Probably the most awkward thing about this game in general is your jump is not the A button. Okay, the A button is reserved for something called Survivor Sense, or here it's gonna be I think they we'll get to that in a minute, but you get a sensing ability where you can sense the area around you. That's what your A button is. The in fact, let's go over some of the controls. Controls are a little bit strange. Oh man. So you're a zombie player. Okay, your jump button. Your jump is the right button, which is a little awkward, but for some reason that's how they had it set up. And I really don't like that, but there's no customization for this. Crouch is your standard B button. X, which would normally be like an interact type of thing, that is a special attack called a pounce attack. And Y button is a UV block, which get to that much later. That's just an ability you get later on. Right trigger is a claw attack. Unfortunately, that claw attack is virtually useless in this game, in this part of the game, Be the Zombie. In the actual Dying Light game, that right trigger is your main attack, which is useful. But here, I don't know why they put the claw attack on right trigger. It just you can't really. I suppose you could change it like this, but to make your spits thing. But even the spits thing, that's not really your main attack. Your main attack is going to be that X button, your pounce attack. And like I said, we'll get to that later on. But But most of your other controls, I guess, are okay. That spits attack, that's a special attack. You can do that every once in a while. Tendril locomotion. Tendril locomotion, that's your left button. That is what we're going to get to it right now. That's the next thing you learn. But it's basically like a grappling hook, but it's a full-time grappling hook. So I think that's what it's going to tell me here. Okay, so this is basically that's pretty cool. It's like a grappling hook, but it's basically full. You can go long distances. It is super fast. You could probably just do this throughout the whole. You probably wouldn't even need to run. You just do this the whole time. Super fast. This is the super zombie. And I'm not even running. I'm just. You almost feel like Spider-Man, you know, with like the web slinger. It's a pretty cool effect. It gives you a huge mobility advantage over most of the players that you're going to be encountering, the actual player characters. It is a little tricky to get used to. I must admit that this took me a while to, and I wouldn't even say I'm a master at it yet, but it took me a while to get used to being able to do that. But it's pretty good. And even now. So, but you don't even have to do that. You run so fast. I'll just, let me see. I guess you could just run. You can kind of just. I don't know if that's any faster than actual running, but I'm just using that tendril locomotion. I guess running would be a little bit faster depending upon where you're going. Pretty cool though, and you can go over huge distances. Okay, so the howl, that's like a sensory thing where certain things light up on the entire area, the entire map. So you can track where your enemies are, you can see where your nests are. So that's the A button. And the hunter can attack with his claws right trigger. It's a weak attack, so it's best to use it for finishing off injured opponents. So if you've got an opponent that's injured and down, you can just go and finish that opponent off with it. I don't know why they put that on right trigger. They did. I wish they hadn't, but... So I'm just going to howl. Now, on your mini-map up there, your nests will light up, the enemies will light up. You will also be able to see your enemies. Right, so there's an enemy right over there that you can see. So let's just go. So now we're just gonna go up and claw him. It takes a couple hits. It takes like 3 hits to kill him. Okay, pounce attack. That's your main attack. The X button. It's your main attack, and it basically kills the enemy fast. It is not completely unbreakable, and it's not an automatic kill, depending upon what your enemies do. But it's basically the one that probably you'll be killing enemies with the most. So let's... Alright, so... Oops. So we're gonna howl. So there's the enemy lights up. You can basically see your enemies from a huge distance. Even if an enemy was way out there, you would be able to see that enemy light up, and it would appear on your minimap. So the pounce attack, as long as you see that X thing there, you can pounce. So I'm just gonna pounce him. And this is just a tutorial, so they're just basic AI right here. But you can do all kinds of... Okay. So, I was just about to do a pounce attack on that guy, but he interrupted it with a UV light. Ultraviolet light basically hurts and can potentially kill you and other certain types of zombies. So when they turn that on, it stops the pounce attack and it drains you of your energy. You can't pounce an enemy unless you've got full energy. So now my energy is down to 0, and it drains pretty fast. So once your energy is fully depleted, your movement and jump height are drastically reduced, and they are. You are very vulnerable when you have no enemy left. And you can't use that thing that I was using, that tendril locomotion. You can't do that. So you're here. I've got no energy. All you can do is what's called a ground pound attack. And it's basically you swing with your claw attack a couple times, and then the ground pound thing will come in. So you got to hold the right trigger and then release it, and it knocks back the enemies just to give yourself a moment to escape. This has never worked for me, by the way, as far as if an enemy has gotten me down. Usually if I get down at this point, I'm dead. But you just hold that in, and it just stops them for a second. But see, he's only got like a sec. You only got like a second or two. So now I'm just gonna try and get out of here. Okay, so now my energy level is coming back up, coming back up, coming back up. Once it gets up to maximum, then I could potentially do my pounce attack again. Okay, so now I can come back. Alright, so the enemy's primary goal is to destroy your nests. I believe there are 5 nests. Each of them have like 3, or I guess you'd want to call them, I don't know. There's three nests with each main nest. 3 sub-nests with each main nest. And they come and they whack them with their weapons to destroy them. And it's your job to protect them. Yeah, you get 5 of them. If all 5 are destroyed, you lose the game. To win the game, I believe that you just have to make, I think it's 10 kills before they destroy all your nests. So, you know, you just want to kill the enemies and do that before they destroy all your nests. So the nest in front of me is in danger. So you use your howl attack. So there's my howl attack. So my nests, they lit up. Okay. There's the 2 enemies right there. Okay, and there's a guy right there. So now they're shining their UV lights. Now in the actual game, UV lights don't last forever. They can only use it for about, I don't know, it's 15, 20 seconds, and then it needs to recharge. So it does recharge a little bit. So I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna try and get these guys. So these are just basic AI. Okay, and that's the tutorial. It's complete. Continue practicing my skills or invade a game. Now, you start off at first level, and I don't think I'm going to play an actual game in this episode, just because it's getting a little late, and I had a little trouble creating the first episode. This is like my 5th take, just different technical difficulties. So, if you look on the mini-map up there, the red things are your nests. When you do that howl everywhere, okay, you can see humans everywhere. In an actual game, they will be, I believe they'll be yellow. So this tutorial is just going to show You know, basic. Where would you want to go? I'd probably want to go. So you can just come around, and I try to experiment around with different ways of killing people. Yeah. Okay, so he got me down to 0. Now the players, the actual players, they're not going to be easy like this after all, and they've got various abilities to protect themselves. They've got flares, ultraviolet flares that they can light up. If you see how these nests right here, they've got 3. I don't know what these are. These are. Oops. I killed him. Okay, he's very easy to kill. So this is it. This is Be the Zombie. This is the tutorial. These are your little nests right here. They light up that color. There's humans. Now, let's see. Let's see if it'll show me. Okay, here's the other main thing. Skills. Who would have thought that Be the Zombie would have skill levels? But it does. And as you do various things when you're being the zombie in the zombie invasion, you get experience points. You go up in levels. I was like, wow, that's cool. So this is the right here. This one here is the first one that you get. You can spit out a glob of yellow goo that summons up fast-moving suicide bomber zombies, and they are basically zombies that explode. If the yellow goo hits an actual player, then those zombies will track and hunt down that human. They can't climb, so your enemies, more or less, they need to be on the ground in order for this to really work. So if your enemies are up in the rooftops, this has almost no effect. But this is the basic skill that you start with. And then you've got other skills. This one right here is a pretty good one. It enhances your horde summoning spit. Basically, you can do it an extra time. This one here, if you shoot it at an enemy and it hits the enemy, it disables their UV flashlight for a while, which is so invaluable. It's tough to describe. The only thing that I don't like about it is that it's not all that easy to use. But when you use it and it works, it's basically a free kill. Your enemy is not going to be able to stop you unless if they use an ultraviolet flare. And if they do that, well, okay, you got to try and find some other way. If you activate this, you can press the Y button to temporarily make you immune to all UV light. But it only lasts for a second. It's basically for escape. Basically, it's not not meant for attack. This one unlocks ability to move while charging your ground pound. Okay, it sounds pretty good. That ground pound thing, you can move while doing it. Normally, you have to be standing still to activate that. This one you can move. Hold to sprint. And you perform a tackle. This allows you to tackle an enemy, knocks them down. It's good if you want to knock them into spikes. I think knocking them into spikes or off rooftops does a lot of damage or instantly kills them. With this one here, that tendril attack. This basically lets you go from one person to the next I guess as long as they're within range or whatever. And this increases your sprint, speed, and jump. And then these are all trees, so all of these are all basically enhanced versions of the ones above. And then when you get all of these, I guess it's all of them up to here. You unlock this one here. This is mutation. Right now your mutation, at the beginning your mutation level is 0. When this is unlocked, all of your skill levels go away, but you turn into a new breed of Night Hunter. I guess it's more powerful. I really have no idea. I don't know what it's going to be like, but you forfeit all of your current skills, and you have to earn them again after you perform the mutation, and each mutation gains access to new rewards. So hopefully that's good. Some of these skills require higher level mutation. Like this skill here, you hold a Y to quickly regain health and energy. But you need to be mutation level 3. Now think about that. You're starting off at 0. You have to unlock this 3 times. And the only way to unlock this is you have to have all skills unlocked. So this is at mutation level 3. This one, you just have to do mutation level 1. This is mutation level 2. I'm curious how high it'll go and how powerful I can get. I really don't know. Now I haven't played this character, this zombie at all yet, so I don't have any skill points. But and so what's going to happen is the first time I play, I'm going to be relatively weak for a zombie, anyways. Once I get this skill and maybe a few of the other skills, my abilities will be able to go up. And I'm going to be a little curious to see how well I do. I believe the first time that I played, I lost the match, but I don't think I lost it by much. But, you know, I was really clumsy with my tendril locomotion and attacking the people and so forth. So, it also depends on who I'm fighting. I could end up with fighting one player who doesn't really know what you're supposed to do, which would make that player really easy to kill, or I could end up fighting 3 or 4 players who know exactly what they're doing. They're really powerful, and they might just, annihilate me and destroy all the nests fast. But either way, you still gain experience points and stuff. I think even just for playing, I don't know how many you get, but even if you lose the match, as long as I've accomplished something, I'll probably still go up that first level. So, okay, this was an introduction to Be the Zombie Dying Light. And let's end this here. And in the next episode, I will start up my first Night Hunter mission with this zombie. Okay, so let's end it here, and we will see you next time. Okay, thanks for watching. Check in the next episode to see how well I do with my first Night Hunter mission. Okay, bye everyone.